And now he's turning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
flash.
But not just Texas, because these metallic objects, glowing orbs, and strange discs were captured in other states as well.
What the
And what happened next shocked everyone. Back in 2009, a WSAZ TV news helicopter was flying over the Mountaineer power plant in West Virginia, filming a regular report. But what the camera captured mid-air turned an ordinary news day into something unforgettable. 4 glowing orbs appeared near the plant's smokestacks, moving in smooth, deliberate patterns. They darted around the area with impossible speed, stopping and shifting directions like they were observing the site below. No aircraft could move that way, and no one ever came forward to explain what those lights were. The video remains one of the strangest on-air UFO captures, leaving people to wonder how often these glowing visitors are right above us, watching quietly from the dark. Lake encounter. For days, locals near Big Bear Lake, California, had been spotting strange lights moving across the night sky. At first, they thought it might be drones, until one night, curiosity got the best of them. Armed with a laser pointer, they aimed it toward the brightest object hovering above the lake.
Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads.
To their surprise, the laser beam hit the craft directly, lighting it up for a split second. The object was a perfect disc, but before anyone could react, it made an impossible maneuver and vanished instantly, leaving behind no trace like how a jet would make. And since it didn't make any noise, people are sure this was an alien probe.
And now he's turning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
flash.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
Mysterious being. A group of friends decided to explore an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Coon Rapids, Minnesota, hoping for a quick scare and a good story to tell later. But what they found inside was something they'll never forget. A distorted humanoid figure suddenly lunged toward them. Its movements were fast and unnatural, its appearance straight out of a nightmare. Thin limbs, pale skin, and large, hollow eyes that seemed to glow faintly in the dark. The group barely managed to defend themselves before the creature darted away into the shadows. They searched for hours, but found no sign of it, and then left. Lightning reveal. This happened in River North, Chicago, during a heavy lightning storm, where a man accidentally captured something that left him speechless. Each time lightning flashed, the sky lit up for a split second, and that's when it showed up. A pyramid-shaped UFO appeared in the frame, but only when the lightning struck. The rest of the time, it was completely invisible. If that really was a hidden craft, it means something might be out there, watching us, even when we can't see it. Secret facility footage. This old-looking clip, said to be from rural Kansas, feels like something straight out of the 90s. It shows a group of scientists running around in panic inside what looks like a secret research site. The place is surrounded by open fields, and in the distance, flashes of light make it seem like a UFO might have attacked the area. The weirdest part? No one ever confirmed where or when this happened. Everything about the footage was wiped from records, like it was never meant to be seen. Mountain secret. A strange old video shared online shows what looks like an alien in the mountains of Utah. In the same clip, a UFO can be seen hovering nearby. Once the footage spread, people began arguing about what it meant. Some think it proves there's a secret alien base in those mountains, while others believe it might show an alien's first visit to Earth. Shifting sky ring. In the wooded outskirts of Surrey, near Vancouver, Canada, a local hiker spotted something bizarre hovering above the tree line. It wasn't a plane or a drone. It was a ring-shaped object, spinning and glowing with multiple shifting colors. The longer they watched, the stranger it got. The ring started changing its shape, stretching, folding, and twisting as if it were made of pure light. The witness stood frozen, realizing this was unlike any UFO ever seen before. Mountain encounter. While hiking through the quiet hills of Minas Gerais, Brazil, two friends spotted something they couldn't explain. A dark, metallic craft floating perfectly still in the sky. Below it, a glowing oval moved slowly, scanning the valley like it was studying the ground. The two just stood there, frozen, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. Then, as quietly as they came, both objects lifted higher and vanished into the clouds. Ohio Sphere. On the night of April 28, 2025, people in Dayton, Ohio, witnessed something that left them stunned. During a thunderstorm, a glowing blue sphere was seen hovering above a parking lot near a shopping center.
What the
At first, folks thought it was ball lightning, but it didn't fade or flicker like lightning does. It just stayed there, perfectly still, glowing with a cold blue light. No one could explain what it was, but it didn't look like anything from this world. Desert visitor. In the Arizona Sonoran Desert, an explorer saw something he could hardly believe. A shiny disc flying low over the sand. The real shock came when a door opened and an alien walked out. The UFO then shot up into the sky, leaving the creature behind. But before anyone could react, the alien vanished too. No one knows if it went back to space or just disappeared into the desert air. Nevada encounter. This was recorded near Tonopah, Nevada, where a lone hiker captured something he couldn't explain. While resting on a ridge, he noticed a bright disc-shaped object hovering above the mountain peak ahead. Then, out of nowhere, a thin beam of light shot down from the craft, scanning the ground below. For a brief moment, it looked like an abduction was about to happen, but within seconds, the beam faded, and the object blasted away at incredible speed, leaving behind only silence and dust. The hiker stood frozen, and to this day cannot comprehend how lucky he was to avoid that UFO. Cedar Hills anomaly. On a quiet night near Cedar Hill, Texas, locals noticed a strange glow spreading over the treetops. At first, it looked like distant lightning until the light took shape. A smooth, disc-like craft hovered above the hills, its light so bright the trees below were glowing red and white. It didn't move. It didn't make a sound. It just hung there, perfectly still like it was watching. Then, just as quietly, the lights dimmed and the object shot upward, disappearing into the dark sky in a blink. Alien versus alien. A daunting and terrifying video shows the aftermath of a battle between two intergalactic species. The tall and obviously stronger of the two was standing in the middle of the forest in the snowy mountains of Serbia, towering over its defeated enemy. The alien on the ground was still alive, but was defeated. Maybe these two belong to different factions, or some have speculated that these entities might have had some disagreement. Thermal UFO. While flying over the Bristol Channel, Great Britain, some police officers caught something strange on their thermal camera. A bright, round object moving across the sky. The odd part, no one could see it with their own eyes. Even stranger, it moved against the wind like it had its own control. Air traffic control found nothing on radar. Whatever it was, it didn't act like any aircraft they'd ever seen. San Antonio orbs. On May 16, 2022, people in San Antonio, Texas, looked up and saw the sky glowing bright green. At first, many thought it was a meteor shower, but it wasn't. 3 glowing objects moved slowly in perfect sync, hovering as if they were scanning the ground below. The video cut off before showing what happened next, but the person who filmed it claimed the objects shot straight up into the sky. Oddly, no local news talked about it, leaving everyone wondering what San Antonio really witnessed that night. Area 51 footage. Back in 2009, deep in the Nevada desert near the famous Area 51, a local man saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. Lying in the sand was a huge UFO that looked like it had just crashed. But the strangest part wasn't the ship. It was the glowing orbs floating above it. They moved slowly, almost like they were guarding the wreck. The man didn't stick around to find out more and decided to leave right away, which was probably the smartest thing to do. Actual UFO. A triangle UFO was caught on camera in a mysterious area. This triangular flying craft had giant propulsion systems, but even with them, it was surprisingly very stealthy. There was zero sound coming from it, and the person only managed to capture this because he was feeding pigeons outside his window. However, the video is more mysterious than that. There is practically no trace of the original uploader, and this location has remained undisclosed since the release of this video. All anyone knows is that it was a restricted area, making netizens very suspicious. Alien at Ridgeview. Around 11:30 p.m., a security camera at Ridgeview Elementary School in Flagstaff, Arizona, captured something that still hasn't been explained. On the southwest side of the building, near the playground, a small humanoid figure appeared outside one of the hallway windows. This humanoid looked like a small gray alien with dark, hollow eyes that seemed to lock right onto the camera. Though most of its facial details were blurry, you could still make out a faintly narrow nose and a mouth hanging slightly open, almost like it was surprised to be seen. What really unsettled people was how it seemed to stare directly at the CCTV, which made people come up with theories that it most likely had technology that could identify where electromagnetic signals were coming from. It disappeared right after, and it's been about 8 months, but no follow-up has come out yet. Murray UFO sighting. At Huck's gas station in Murray, Kentucky, a YouTuber was casually filming a vlog, never imagining his camera would capture something unbelievable. Out of nowhere, a massive UFO appeared, gliding silently across the night sky above the pump. What truly shook him was how close it came. Unlike typical sightings high in the sky, this craft flew alarmingly low, passing right over the station before drifting off into the distance. The video went viral almost instantly, and to this day, he says that moment completely changed what he believes about what's really out there. Alien in California. Late one night in Compton, California, a woman named Jessica Ortiz was jolted awake by strange noises echoing through her backyard. Curious and uneasy, she grabbed her phone and checked her Ring camera. What she saw next left her frozen. On the screen, a tall, thin figure slowly moved past her yard.
What's the first thing that goes through your mind?
I'm losing my mind. You know, it didn't look like anything I've ever seen before.
Its body was partly hidden in the dark, but the large, oblong-shaped head was unmistakable. Jessica swore it looked nothing like a human or an animal, more like something not from this world. It was around 1 a.m., and she couldn't believe what she was seeing. But forensic video expert Connor McCourt had another take.
I think it could be an animal or a smaller person, maybe a child walking across the yard.
He believes the alien might just be a smaller person or even an animal moving oddly in the dark. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Ocean lights. In 1998, a small fishing crew went farther than planned, about 40 nautical miles off the coast of Florida. Just as they were about to head back, they spotted a bright light over the open water. It didn't move like any plane or ship they knew. Then, a few more glowing lights appeared beside it, shining so bright that the waves below them started to glow.
They're being surrounded by UFOs.
They were now right in the middle of Key West and Havana and had to make their way back. But they stood there, speechless. Whatever those lights were, they weren't normal. Within seconds, they started the engine and sped away, not willing to stick around to find out more.
Sanders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Fleet in the sky. Somewhere over Colorado, a plane passenger was looking out the window at around 38,000 feet, well above the clouds. That's when something strange caught his eye. Far ahead, a group of bright lights was moving together, almost like a fleet of ships, except these were flying high in the sky. They stayed in perfect formation, heading straight toward Nevada. The passenger couldn't look away. Were they on their way to some secret base in the desert? Or was something else going on up there? Pennsylvania orbs. In 2022, a man in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, spotted something that left him speechless. Late at night, several glowing orbs drifted into the city one after another, lighting up the sky in total silence. From afar, they looked like UFOs slowly forming above the skyline, almost as if they were preparing to land. But when morning came, every single orb was gone. No sound, no trace, just an empty sky and a mystery that still has no answer. Trail encounter. A group of friends was driving through the desert hills near Sedona, Arizona, when they noticed something unusual in the sky, a silver disc flying not far ahead. They pulled over, watching in shock as the UFO hovered for a few seconds before shooting off toward the mountains where they had planned to hike. After seeing that, the friends quickly changed their plans. No one wanted to find out what might be waiting in those mountains. Massive Nevada object.
The images circulating around the world were reportedly recorded by a U.S. Army Apache helicopter last week. The video leaked anonymous.
Not far from Area 51, reports started coming in about a strange crash. The whole area was quickly blocked off, but one helicopter flying nearby caught a quick look. On the ground below was a bright, glowing object. No one could tell if the light was coming from a UFO or if the light itself was the UFO. Before anyone could take a closer look, the site was covered up and no one's heard a word about it since.
Apache 1-6 to Control, we have eyes on an unidentified object, over. Control to Apache 1-6, confirm visual. Any details on the object?
Antarctica mystery. While exploring Antarctica, a man spotted something that didn't look real. A round, disc-shaped UFO. At first, it looked old and broken, like it had been left behind for years. But then, it started to move. The craft slowly lifted off the ground and hovered in the air, though it couldn't rise very high. It looked like something was wrong with it, as if its power was fading. Some people now wonder if there could be a hidden alien base somewhere under all that ice. Panama sighting. In Panama, a normal day at the beach turned strange when people spotted a shiny disc gliding low over the ocean waves. It moved fast, but smooth, almost like it was skimming the water's surface. Wherever it went, ripples followed beneath it, reflecting its glow. Some thought it was exploring the area. Others said it was showing off. Whatever it was, it looked like something not made for Earth, just passing by for a quick trip over the sea. Jellyfish UFO. In Maysan, Iraq, locals looked up and saw something that didn't look like anything from this world. A jellyfish-shaped object drifting quietly through the night sky. It shimmered, as if it was alive, moving too smoothly to be a drone or balloon. For a second, people thought it could be someone in a jetpack, but that theory didn't fit either. The strange object floated calmly, then disappeared without a sound, leaving everyone wondering what they had just witnessed. Silver sky orb.
The silver orb!
Yep.
In the middle of the day, a shiny silver orb hovered high above Perth, Australia. So still, it almost looked fake. People below stopped in their tracks, phones out, staring at this perfect metallic sphere hanging silently in the air. It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a drone. Just a reflective ball of light, glinting like a mirror in the sun. For a few long moments, it stayed frozen in place before slowly gliding away, almost like it realized it had been spotted.
So I don't think it's a balloon, but it's that silver orb again, isn't it?
Yeah.
UFO over Cholula. Over the ancient Cholula pyramids in Mexico, something incredible happened. Locals and tourists stared in disbelief as a disc-shaped UFO hovered right above the centuries-old site. Not for seconds, but several minutes. The glowing object seemed to silently watch over the ruins, perfectly still in the air. What made this sighting especially eerie was the location itself. The Cholula Pyramids are one of the oldest and largest pyramid structures in the world, and this wasn't the first time strange lights were seen near ancient sites. Backyard UFO. This footage was captured by a man in Sheffield, England, who saw an actual alien craft flying right outside his home, and he can be heard urging his mother to get a better camera.
Get the camera.
Where is it? I can't find it.
The man begins to get more anxious as this unidentified flying craft starts to get closer to him and then flies away to another part of the neighborhood. But here's where things get a bit weird. This man claims that his new phone stopped working and he had to get an old phone out to record this. But once he started facing problems with that as well, he kept on telling his mother to get another one so that he records everything.
It's in the top one. It's moving. Hurry up, it's moving.
Got it.
Descending object. Near Puno, Peru, locals were stunned when a massive metallic object suddenly fell from the sky. The craft crashed with a deep roar, sending up thick smoke and bursts of orange light. Witnesses described it as covered in strange nodules, its surface glowing from heat and a flicker of fire visible deep inside. At first, people thought it was a piece of a satellite or a rocket booster, but space agencies denied any debris falling that day. The object's shape and structure didn't match anything known to science. Officials have stayed silent ever since, offering no explanation. But for those who saw it, one thing is clear: that wasn't human technology. Flying pyramid? We all know about the pyramids in Egypt, but what if one started flying? Sounds like a movie, right? Well, an explorer in the desert caught something that looked exactly like that. A pyramid-shaped UFO floating in the air. At first, he thought it was just a heat mirage, but his camera picked it up too. Since cameras can't record mirages, that means whatever he saw was really there. Maybe, just maybe, the pyramids still have a secret connection to something not from this world. Glowing over Scotland. In this mysterious clip, an unknown town somewhere in Scotland experienced something otherworldly. A man spotted a few glowing lights moving across the sky, but these weren't planes or stars. They were floating orbs that moved together, almost like they were alive. He watched as they drifted through the night before slowly fading away. No one has ever explained what they were, and to this day, the mystery still hangs over that small Scottish sky. Peru sky object.
Not a kite, not an airplane, just sitting there in the sky.
In the city of Cusco, Peru, a man noticed something strange floating high in the sky. It wasn't moving, just hanging there. So he took out his phone and started recording. When he shared the video online, everyone had a different opinion. Some said it was a real UFO, while others thought it looked more like a kite. No one ever figured out what it really was, but it sure got people talking. Strange activity. In 2009, Japan went through something drastic, but something strange happened just before it. Near a restricted military base in Shizuoka Prefecture, locals spotted several glowing objects hovering in the sky. The UFOs circled the area for a while before suddenly vanishing. Then, the very next day, the earthquake struck. The timing was eerie, and many still believe those strange lights might have been connected to what happened afterward. Alien base. A real extraterrestrial settlement was captured trying to camouflage behind the clouds 3 months ago. At first, it looks like a shiny alien base up in the sky, and then a shadow or silhouette of a living being can be seen walking across the platform. And I think I know why this alien base was so shiny. It was incredibly large and had the shape of a pyramid, which is also very mysterious. Aliens were most likely using mirror technology to hide themselves, but due to a malfunction, their location was revealed, making the aliens run around as seen in the video. Glowing orb. A strange video out of Newark, New Jersey, shows a glowing orb slowly coming down from the night sky while people watch in disbelief. The orb hovered for a bit, then drifted closer to the road, almost like it was watching something. The weirdest part? It made no sound at all, not even when cars passed nearby. Some say it was just a drone with a light, but others think it was something beyond anything we've built. Mysterious shape. On 20th September 2025, people in Toronto, Canada, looked up and spotted something that didn't belong. A dark, floating shape moved slowly across the sky, glowing faintly with a metallic shine. Some said it looked like an old chariot drifting through the clouds. It hovered for a few seconds, then shot off with a smaller object darting behind it. No one could say for sure what it was, but it definitely wasn't a plane. Floating above Mexico. Somewhere in rural Mexico, a man driving down a quiet road saw something that didn't make sense. A shiny, oval-shaped object just hanging in the sky. It didn't spin, drift, or fall. It just floated there, completely still, like gravity didn't apply to it. The man pulled over, staring in silence, trying to figure out what he was looking at. But for a moment, he was sure he was looking right at an alien craft. Glowing disc. In Nairobi, Kenya, a driver's dash cam caught something that even experts couldn't explain. A glowing disc floating silently above the road. The clip was only 19 seconds long, but it showed the UFO shining bright before suddenly zipping away into the night sky. Investigators from Mutual UFO Network called it one of the clearest UFO captures they've seen in years. Locals who watched it in person all agreed. That light wasn't a drone. It was something far beyond what humans have made. Strange cloud. People in Santa Cruz, Argentina, spotted a strange cloud sitting perfectly still in the sky. It didn't move like normal clouds, and it gave off a faint glow like it was being powered by something. Around the same time, a Navy base worker in Rhode Island shared a photo that looked oddly similar. She linked it to the mysterious 3 Atlas case, where several large, unidentified objects were detected entering Earth's atmosphere. Some experts said it was just an atmospheric glitch, but others think these clouds might be hiding something else entirely. Golden Mountain Disk. On 23 June 2024, deep in the quiet mountains of California, a driver noticed something strange floating in the distance. A glowing golden disc suspended in the sky. It shimmered softly, unmoving, like it was observing everything below. He pulled over, watching in disbelief. Some said it looked too smooth, too controlled to be man-made.